Well, Happy New Year, my League of Eagles. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? It's Monday, 2026. And we gather here every Monday at 3 p.m. for Leaders in Legacy and Style, the divine, masculine, and feminine. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and some other social media platforms. I'm grateful to be connected with you today. I'm Joy Ruffin, your Minister of Enlightenment, Awareness, and Awakenings, and your Signature Style and Leadership Specialist. Today, we're going to dive deep into the return, the calling of a new beginning for you, for me, for all of us. So settle in, my Eagles, and let's rise and lead and soar together. Can you imagine what this conversation today is going to be about? It's going to be about you. It's always about you. I'm happy and thrilled to be back with you. It's been quite a long hiatus we've had, but it was at a good time because it was at that magical time of the year. My League of Eagles, we are back together again, and I love being with you. It's a brand new year. It's here, 2026. And with it, a higher frequency for you and me and all of us to rise. 2026 arrives asking us for intention, for presence, and conscious leadership. Beginning matters more than most people realize. And this is we are all going to find out. This year, everything sets the tone about you, your individuality. It establishes your trajectory. It defines your expectations. The return is not casual, it's deliberate. It's anchored, it's honored to begin this year with you. My honor to be with you, because what we do now echoes forward. And I want to share something deeper with you today than I've done, I think, ever in quite a time. Not only what I do, but why I do this work with unwavering devotion. My passion has always been rooted in living examples of divine femininity leadership. But what we can't forget is that it's combined with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It's our time to embrace them both and find the harmony between each of them in our persona. Women who dress with meaning, with intention, with self-respect. Women who stand in harmony with the divine masculine, not the opposite. Fashion was never superficial for me, and it was never decoration. It was always a language. It was always a presence, which spoke without words. And a culture now that's leaning towards casual, which is good. There's nothing wrong with casual. Even today, though, it's become carelessness. Signature style matters more than ever. Elegance does not weaken authority. Awareness does not diminish power. They strengthen it together. The roots here is about the beauty, the body, the belonging of you. Belonging and safety. I think it's important to all of us. My relationship with fashion began early, and it was sacred to me. I didn't know it at the time, because on my mother's side, the women most of them were seamstresses. True artists, really. Not in the higher league, but they were. They understood transformation. They would tear pages from Harper's Bazaar and Vogue and all the other fashion magazines, but those were the two leading ones. Not to imitate, but to reinterpret what it was in those magazines for themselves, because they could alter and change things. They honored their bodies, and not a one of them was a size 0 or a size 8. 12 or 14 for that matter. They were all big, bold, beautiful women. They respected form. Most of them were between size 16, 18, and 20, and so on and so forth. But these women, my relatives, oh yes, I'm bragging a wee bit. They wore everything that they did, especially, at Sunday clothing, Sunday dress. They wore it with grace, with dignity, with presence. They didn't hide. And they weren't apologizing. They watched patterns altered as they did it, silhouettes tailored, clothes adjusting to meet them. And they could do that because they were seamstresses, not the other way around. They walked with authority, proud women, because they felt aligned, especially when they did that Sunday dress. I love seeing them every Sunday get dressed. My sister and I would just sit back and revel at the beauty of them. Mind you, again, not a 0 or a size 8. Style for them was never about shrinking. It was about arriving, fully expressed. Being near them felt educational. It felt empowering. It was like a living classroom, really, of femininity, self-worth, and embodied power. No, I'm not saying that they didn't have issues. Don't we all? But they knew how to empower and liberate themselves, especially when it came to dress, to go out to present. These lessons stayed with me, and they still guide me today. I'm honored and happy that they do. Education, escape, ascension, because by middle school, home economics became my refuge. Life at home was a bit uncertain at the time, but we were lovingly sheltered, even though we weren't quite aware of it. But we knew something wasn't quite kosher. Mom and Dad had decided to separate. So I grounded myself, hid in the home economics class. I felt comfortable there. I felt at home there. And I fell in love with the home economics teacher. Fabrics became grounding. Colors became comfort for me. I have always loved colors. I bet you do. Because color, when you really understand and get to know color, you get to love your color palette. You build your wardrobe around it. You begin to create beauty with your hands, restoring balance to your design, the development and the style that you want brought to the surface for you. Design, for me, brought order, where often the chaos in my home existed, but in a way that was challenging for my sister and I, but yet I was able to hide somewhat in middle school and then on to high school, because that path led me forward to the Fashion Institute of Technology. I don't think there are many people on the planet that don't know about the Fashion Institute of Technology. Everything changes, so it should be. But back in the day, oh my goodness, it was a school that was not just about education, it was about expansion. This is where my wings began to grow. And these wings and the wind carried me into many rooms that I was not familiar with, but where I ultimately felt very comfortable in. Because for me, as a first, I don't brag my eagles, but I do present so that you can understand and know a wee bit more about me and why I do the work that I do. I had such a great takeoff, soaring into the clouds, because while at the Fashion Institute of Technology, some directors, owners of high-end boutique stores came to select buyers. And what I neglected to tell you is that I started off to be a fashion designer, because that's really what I wanted to do. Because I'd seen all of these beautiful women tearing these pictures out of magazines and then putting them on the sewing machines and designing and making them more theirs. So I knew a lot about that. And I could sew as well, but I couldn't draw. So one of the instructors came over to me, and I left this little bit out, but this is important for you to know. And she said to me, "Joy, you have a great eye." And I'd always been talked about my eyes, even though I had issues. So I didn't quite know what she was saying, but she said, "I know you love fashion, and I know you love clothes and designs and all of that, and colors, fabrics. I really think you would be better suited for fashion buying and merchandising," because I couldn't draw. I could drape like a banshee, but I couldn't draw. And I somehow knew that that would be how shall I say it? That would be a downfall. That wouldn't carry me as far as I wanted to go. So as much as I looked and I thought, and then I thought about it, and I happened to admire this instructor who came to me quite a bit. So I said, yes, that's what I'm going to do. And you know why? When I did it, my first year there, the last year there, some buyers, directors, owners came from high-end specialty stores. And out of all the men and women that they interviewed, I don't know how it happened, but I'm so grateful that it did. I became the first Black female buyer for several high-end stores in New York City, the Big Apple. Oh, and was I tainted? Oh, yes, I was. I was young and dynamic and energized by this promotion, so to speak. And after working there for years, Vogue came a-calling, because one day in the buyer's office, where I had become this buyer, one of the owners came over and said, you know, Joy, Vogue is looking for some fashion designers fashion people, men and women, to travel all over the country putting on their fashion shows. And I think you'd be ideal for that, because they had seen how I could come in and select and pick out the clothes. I didn't know at the time that I was a sponge and how they depended on my eye for what was right. So, short story be told, I became a traveling design specialist for Vogue, Butterick. What an honor that was. That's another story that I'll share with you one-on-one. Luxury curated with my guidance and my awareness, global fashion understanding for me. But the deeper lesson remained. Clothing is never neutral. It's neither strengthens your presence or erodes it. It either supports leadership or weakens authority. The truth becomes undeniable. Fashion is any and everything you want it to be. And even though we're in this very, very casual mode now, nothing wrong with casual, but it doesn't have to become sloppy, and it doesn't have to become where you just throw things on because for all the different variable reasons that you can come up with. It ought to represent you in some way. And whatever your style category might be, casual, sporty, oftentimes combined, dramatic, chic, classic, romantic. And then there's subcategories under those 5, but there are others that you can bring into the fold. And that's why I'm sharing all of this with you, because fashion is different for any and every and all, and so it should be. So that said, before I go on further sharing with you more about why I do the work that I do and why I love it so much, and my prayer is that it will come a time where you will love it too. Let's take a quick little reset here. And I want to introduce you to the group that I want you to belong to, because this group has a name that I came up with when somebody said to me, oh, that name's too long and it doesn't fit. I'm so glad I stuck with it. Sometimes you have to listen to that inner voice within you. And that group is Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. You shine, you lead, and you leave your light behind. It's all about your vision, your mission, and your purpose. And that arrow is not there by accident. It's there by design. I'm asking you to join the Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies Facebook group. And not only am I asking you to join, I'm also asking you to participate, to scroll through and see which of the women there you would like to connect with. I hope it's more than 3 or 4 or 5. I hope it's many, so that you can see how you can collaborate and how you can support each other. Because we're all about community here. And that said, this is where you belong. So do yourself a favor and all of us in my team and join Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. Oh, and then the other thing that I'm asking you to join. Now, this is Joy Ruffin, fashioning femininity, style, and truth. Femininity, style, and truth is where my heart lies with you, my eagles. I want you every week to join us on a Thursday on YouTube, where I will be bringing to you all kinds of topics. They will be not systematically aligned, but they will always be about you, your presence, your purpose, your style, how you show up, what leadership means to you, what empowerment means to you, what the liberation of you and the conditioning and the programming and the sexualizing that's always been a part of our DNA. Now it's time to let it go and find the new you, the new woman, the new female, the new lady who is the new example for what's to be. So please join us there. And then I'm asking you this. It's for you as well. You might know someone who leads with heart. Nominate someone today and be my featured guest, and you as well, because we're always looking for featured guest speakers. Don't be shy. Don't hesitate. Don't hold back. We're looking for you, and we need you, and we're hoping that you need us, because you can take this really professional video that we give you with other things if you want to have it that way, or you can just have it to repurpose on all the social media platforms that you're on, because every market is different. And that said, I would love it if you would find the time to join and see what everything is about, and then become more instrumental in the programs and the platforms that we're offering for you. But if you want to be a speaker, I don't care if you've spoken on all of the different platforms, try this one. We work very hard to make it all about you. Now, every first of the month, I will come to you on a Monday and a Wednesday as we start each month with a solo program designed for you, talking more about fashion and femininity and leadership, empowerment, liberation, and all of that other good stuff. But then the other 3 to 4 weeks, it will be with a featured guest speaker, and I would love it if you would be one. Now let's talk about truth, presence, and fit. Today, my work has matured, as I have. Fashion is not for everyone, nor should it be, and it should never pretend to be. But for those who feel the pull, you already know loving fashion is not enough, because a lot of women, this is not a judgment call. I know, I feel, I see what is around us today. And that's why I say loving fashion is not enough, because I've seen, you've seen, we've all seen women who are wearing high-end, designer, expensive, top scale, whatever, high-end pieces here and there. They don't match, they don't fit, but they're new and they're popular, they're trending, they're everywhere. But it's not really them. But because of that inner, maybe not knowing, I don't know, I think more than not, because if you really began to and want to know thyself, you began to love fashion, but you began to want to develop and design what works best for you. Style, color, fabrics, all contingent upon your body shape. And loving that body shape, just like I love my aunts who were more like 18, 20, 3X and so on, but they knew how to present. You've seen the church ladies. Some of them were boom, 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 well put together, and some of them not. But most of them knew and loved dressing up. Now, dressing up is gone. It's gone by the by. But I want you to know that when you love fashion and want to have more of an individuality look, the wholesomeness of you, the truth of you, then fit will matter. Your form matters, which is your body shape. The intention matters, which is what styles really work best for you. I can give you just one quick example here. When clothing is aligned to your body, your energy shifts. But let me say that not everyone can wear tights. Now, you can wear whatever you want to, but unless you know how to wear them, where they really accentuate your body, where it gains respect and admiration, you've already lost the battle. Not everyone can wear bell-bottom pants or flare pants. You began to know what type and styles fit best for you. When clothing is aligned to your body, your energy will shift. Your presence will expand. You'll walk taller, head shown back. because you feel and you know after a while that your presence expands, your authority sharpens. This is not your imagination. This is embodiment. This is why I offer one-on-one complimentary sessions. Awakening begins with awareness. I didn't label myself minister of enlightenment, awareness, and awakenings just because it rings well, because I know for myself and for many others that awakening that begins with awareness and love and understanding of your body and how to adorn it, to accessorize it, that's important. And when we don't know, we don't know. I love technology, but I become far from it. But I get so flustered and nervous. I say, oh my God, it's not my wheelhouse. That doesn't take me away from learning it and having people around me who are able to extend to me some of their knowledge. And I intake things at a different pace and style, but it works. You find the style, design, and develop it for you, and you'll begin to have a whole different feeling about your body. Fashion should be, everyone says this. I don't know if so many really understand it though. It should be empowering. It should make you feel, not on a temporal level. We want it to be long lasting. We look for longevity, that every time you pull this outfit out of the wardrobe closet, you still love it as much. And it doesn't have to be timeless, but it can be something, the fabric, the color, the style that you love so much that it becomes a part of your personality. You are curating identity. The work is personal, it's honest, it's liberating, and it demands truth. But let me back up and tell you, we're in the Insta society. How many times have you heard me say that? Fashion, like any and everything else, is like me learning technology, starting at the basic beginnings and just doing a little bit at a time, my style, my way. I've come, what is that expression? Come a long way, baby. I think that's an old saying, but it's true because every good thing takes time. And some people have more of a knack and a tendency to be more proficient and knowing about it than you will ever be. That's why we have all of this big collective and all of these zillions of people. But it's how do you feel about you? And how do you feel about the clothes that you're wearing? I look to, and I'm sure you do, the entertainment industry. And I see all of these and I applaud them. I celebrate them. I say, wow, a lot of times for them, but I don't put them on a pedestal for numerous reasons, because I want you, my eagles, to understand this. This is not braggadocio talking, speaking. It's not bragging. You are royalty. You have that magic and that miracle within you. You are awesome, but you have to feel it from within. And it's a journey. And you don't have to get to be a happy senior to get there. Every good thing takes time. Nothing is for everyone. Nothing. I'd like to extend an invitation to you. I call it the third eye. The truth is nothing is for everyone. That truth alone can save you years of confusion. And I want you to know that I have created 3 intentional packages. And when you hear me say back to the basics, back to the beginnings, like a rebirth, even me with this luminous background in fashion and commercial insurance as well, but I still lean towards the fashion. That's where my wheelhouse is. That's where my heart and soul connected. That's where it resides. These packages are intentional to return us to the beginnings of what divine femininity is all about. The basics, the truth, a rebirth of sight. Fall in love with your mirror and be able to really see it in it. And then have someone with a third eye. I have a third eye. I have 4, but I have a third eye. That work requires honesty. It requires hunger. You must be, or you're invited to be thirsty standing before that mirror. Not to judge, but to understand. I often say this: allow me to be your third eye until you have mastered it for you. My opinion will not be about what's good for me. It'll be about knowing you, seeing you, working with you, listening to you, observing you, and allowing what I see and feel to connect with you. Because I'll be able to see what you cannot yet see. But already I know it belongs to you. I do not abandon the process. I walk with you through it. And even though everyone says this, I've always been out of the box. And if you're here, you're out of the box too. It will be fun. It will be transformational. So next week, or I should say this week, Wednesday, because I come to you the first Monday and Wednesday of each month, I will share full details as we launch January 7th, 2026. I love saying that because this 2026 is going to be awesome for all of us. Begin this year differently. Love the trends and the popular and what's in, one and the same, more or less. Not by trends, but by truth. Not by noise, but by presence. Not by imitation. Copy, comparing, competing for women who are in the divine femininity stage and wanting more to get there. You are invited to align with your inner core, heart and soul connected. And you can do that by designing your signature style. I'm asking you, my eagles, to learn how to soar. What does that mean? What does that say? Because truth be told, everyone here is here. I'm talking about leadership. That's why I labeled this my League of Eagles. I call you my League of Eagles because not everyone has the capacity to be open and free enough to share their knowledge, their love, and their wisdom with others who are willing and open to partake of it. My Eagles, I thank you for sharing this time and space with me. I hope I've given you a little bit more of an insight of why I do the work that I do and why I love it so much, why I'm immersed in it to my core. I honor your presence, your energy, and your willingness to grow. As I end here with you, let me leave you with this. I do repeat myself, but I do it with rationale. Empowerment without release is incomplete. When you release old conditionings, you create space for the empowerment within you to rise, the individuality, the wholeness, the right knowing of who you are. So as we end, I'm going to ask my engineer to put up a few posters that will give you more insight. I ask you to join me next week for another soulful conversation. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want her to put up what's coming, and we can go from there. The countdown begins. And that countdown is for you to get these intentional 3 packages that are designed with you in mind. 3 different levels of where you want to be, and then maybe you can combine. We have so many ways that you can play with them. You know, I love the word play and laughter. I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Fashioning Femininity, Style, and Truth. Do stay connected. If you want to go deeper, explore my offerings, upcoming experiences. Another way to work together, you and me, at joyruffin.com. Something meaningful is always unfolding there. So my Eagles, until next time, stay grounded, stay connected, stay confident, and allow your light to lead the way. It's all about you, but it's about you aligning with those who can support you, as we all do in the different arenas that are not our wheelhouse. I end this with what I always say. I'm sending you much, much love from my heart to yours. And I can't wait to join you next Wednesday. Happy New Year. It's 2026, my Eagles, and you're going to be soaring all over the place. Until the next time, Wednesday, cheers.